So hashtag my white privilege is currently trending on Twitter, and Twitter did a Moments to give us a quick rundown of their top picks. And it was started by this at Free Your Mind Kid guy, who's a contributor for Forward.com. He says, white people. That's us, I guess. Just, generic whites. What is the most outrageous thing you've gotten away with as a white person that you know damn well a black or brown person would have never gotten away with? Whew, we know this is going to be good. So the first one on the list is Anne Shay. I got caught stealing multiple times as a teenager and they never called the cops. They just let me go with a warning every single time. Hashtag my white privilege. How do you know that wasn't your female privilege that allowed you to get away with that? I mean, you are aware that God knows what, like something like 80% of prisoners are male, and especially my society, and I imagine that American society as well, has distinct bias in favour of women when it comes to criminal proceedings. How do you know it wasn't because you're a woman and not because you were white? A loss of shoplifting when I was younger, but I never got caught. But even when I was caught, all I got was a slap on the wrist. But nobody was watching the white girl in the polo shirt. They were all too busy scrutinising the Hispanic and Latinx kids. Were they male, though? And what's with all these female thieves? Again, I really have to question, was this your female privilege speaking? Love. Called the police in Alston, MA, when I lost the key to my bike lock. White. Firefighters showed up. Didn't ask for any ID, proof the bike was mine, or proof that I lived at that address. They cut the U-lock off without question. Are you sure that's not some sort of middle-class privilege speaking there? I mean, how do you know that that was because you were white? I guess we're just going to assume it, aren't we? I got in a car accident with an African-American woman. It was my fault. I told the cop it was my fault. When I got the police report back, he said that no one was at fault, and he had actually given a citation to the other driver for a car seat violation. Okay, so the other driver wasn't in trouble for something that they had done to you, or not, as the case may be. It could well be that there was no one at fault. Who knows? Maybe it was because you were white, though. And of course, they got a citation because they were black. No, wait. It was the car seat violation. When I was younger, I got pulled over by a cop for suspicion of drunk driving. I was definitely over the legal limit. I had an open beer can in the cup holder. This is in Providence, Rhode Island. The cop dumped the can of beer on the ground and let me go. Must be because you're white. Must be. Couldn't have been that particular cop was like, well, this is a stupid young man who's made a stupid mistake. No, definitely because you're white. Because the cops are basically racist. This is only something that white people get away with. Police raided my house looking for my black boyfriend, just found me and my weed, tried to get me to put it on him. I got a drug court and no record, he'd still be in prison. How do you know that wasn't because you were a woman? You don't. Always been pretty tame, but here's a shitty anecdote. Every 6 months over the last 10 years living here in DC, I get cop cars that pull up to me while I'm walking at night to remind me it's an unsafe neighborhood. It's not, and ask if I need a ride. My white privilege. No! Cops don't do that for men. They don't do that at all for men, Charlotte. They do it for women, though, because women have privilege. Rogue Pacer. I was pulled over for a DUI, 85 and a 55, reckless driving, 16 total tickets, refused breathalyzer, weed and bowl in my pocket. At the station, no cell, no drunk tank. Once the paperwork was done, I bonded myself out with a $100 bill, my white privilege. Well, who knows, maybe that was a case of white privilege. Who knows? But I will assume it is. Kicking a cop after he threw him to the ground, then getting in his face after I escaped my handcuffs. Hashtag my white privilege. Sarah! I can't help but notice you're a chick. Weird how this is, as a lot of women who are getting away with a lot of shit. That as a man, if I'd done this, I'd be in trouble. I would be in trouble. White or not, as a man, I would have been in a lot of trouble. Renewing my green card, I was seriously taken from the back of an hours-long line and put directly in the interviewer's office. I thought I was in trouble for something. Actually, it scared me. In and out in 15 minutes. It wasn't until I realised it wasn't until I was leaving I realised it was my white privilege. Was it your white privilege, Tracy? Was it? How do you know it was because you were white? You just don't. I mean, have we forgotten that the patriarchy exists? And the patriarchy is condescendingly paternalistic towards women? Have we forgotten this, oh feminists? But no, it's because you're white. It's because you're white. Sav appears to be a woman. As a teen, I spat in a cop's face when he broke up a party I was at, and all he did was drive me home and tell my mum that I was a troublemaker. So you were a kid and you were female, and lo and behold, the cops treat you with remarkable leniency. Man, that is a weird coincidence. Weird coincidence. Must because you were white. Every interaction I have had with police has ended with a light warning, a friendly chuckle, and zero physical or psychological consequences. Even broke the law in full view of a cop and taught my way out of it to the point where the cop apologised. Hashtag my white privilege, says Jill. Oh, really, Jill? Really? Well, that's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. It must be because you're white. Catherine Greg... I can't pronounce that. My white privilege means most of my interactions with law enforcement are positive. I was once pulled over for an expired registration. The cop told me just go get it renewed and send him proof that I did. Must be because you were white, Catherine. Catherine. Grassy. And again, another woman. My white friend reversed down a highway off-ramp because he took a wrong exit. I was freaking out in the passenger seat. The cop stopped us, reprimanded my friend for his stupidity, and told us to get a move on. Maybe it's because that wasn't like the world's worst thing. Maybe if a black person had done that, they'd be like, well, look, that was stupid. Come on. Stop being idiot. But, wow, being white is a priceless gift. Yeah, apparently. Apparently being a woman doesn't help either. Hurt either. Jesus Christ. The idea, and that is apparently the end of the chosen tweets. But let's have a look at the hashtag. See if we can't... Sorry, I moved it along because, good Lord, you do not want to continually see that GIF going around all the time. Let's have a quick look at the actual hashtag and see what we've got at the top. Oh, look at that. Tim Pool. My white privilege only seems to be a factor when I disagree with the identitarian left. If I agree with them, they call me mixed. If I disagree with them, they call me white. Interesting. And, oh, look, another mixed person. Lauren Chen. Roaming millennial. Check out the progressive self-flagellation that's going on under the hashtag my white privilege. I don't think anyone denies that the world isn't fair and that some people, usually wealthy ones in my opinion, are given breaks when others aren't. But I'm so done with the idea that white equals privilege. Let's have a look. As a white woman, I can walk into any salon and a stylist of any race will be able to cut, colour and style my hair. Everyone learns to empathise with and cater to white people. Jesus, what planet do you live on? White people are the sole demographic it's openly acceptable to be just racist towards. I mean, that's what this hashtag my white privilege is, love. Erica. And again, amazing, these are women. It's amazing it's women who recognizing they have privilege, they just think it's down to their race. Sorry, my white privilege is that I'm given the benefit of the doubt in a way that my black sisters are not. Sure. Even when I am angry, I am seen as cute and non-threatening. Well, okay. Could be that you're like 120 pounds. Have you considered that? But anyway, I'm sure there is a healthy dose of sexism in this. Oh, yeah. I mean, we would normally call it female privilege, but okay, carry on. But there is a privilege to be considered non-threatening. Yes, you do have that privilege. You do. I gave birth in a hospital twice, and everyone believed my pain and offered relief. Right, yeah, I'm sure black women never get pain relief. I don't get scared for my life every time I get pulled over. I don't have to worry about something in my pocket getting mistaken for a gun. I have all my doctors believe me about my pain. I have been given a leg up in life because of the colour of my skin. Says Kayla. Really, Kayla? Was it the colour of your skin? Are there white-only affirmative action projects? Or are there woman-only affirmative action projects? Just out of interest. Just as a quick question I have to ask. Because I have a funny feeling you don't get anything for free for being white, but you might get stuff free for being fucking female. And every woman knows it. Tatiana McGrath. I bought a chihuahua from the pet store and the salesman didn't call the police, assuming it's for the purposes of ritualistic voodoo sacrifice. That's Andrew Doyle. He's great. That's a parody account, obviously. Michael Pedro Knowles. I like Michael Knowles quite a lot. I watch a lot of his stuff. I don't think he's white. My white privilege is constantly purchasing a Subway salad at 3 a.m. in Chicago because this is MAGA country. Bravo, Michael. Bravo. I've been watching a lot of his stuff recently, and I think he's got a much more accurate bead on the left than some of the other Daily Wire chaps. But he's always considered sort of like the runt of the litter in the Daily Wire. I don't know why. I think he does a good job. One time I was in a long line at CVS, and they opened up a new line, and I went from 8th to 3rd in line. Hashtag my white privilege. God, I hope that's a joke. Zuby's great. Zuby is this account, a guy who just has absolutely no fucking time for the bullshit of the radical left. I've only just started following him, but man, he has been a real pleasure to be following on Twitter. My white privilege is trending. I'm expecting extreme levels of virtue signaling and self-flagellation. Don't disappoint me. Oh, they won't. Oh, look, a Nazi can't be the lead of an M. Night Peele movie. That's good. And it's about time you put out another video, you son of a bitch. Ian Miles Chung, my white privilege is me asking me what my race, what race I am because I don't look stereotypically anything. Can I trade in this superpower for a free college tuition in a quote-based institution or something? Ian, I believe you can. I believe you can. Due to my white privilege, I'm not scared of police. Oh no, wait. That's because I do not commit crimes. I keep getting that confused. Yeah, it's amazing how this is... how it's all like shitlords, effectively, anti-progressives who are the top tweets, but Twitter didn't put them in their moments, did they? Weird! But, I mean, what was that about left-wing bias? No, we don't have a left-wing bias, don't be stupid. Not Twitter, of all places. To myself and others, he came up to the car, saw as a cute blonde girl alone and let me go. That's right, it's white privilege. It's not cute blonde girl privilege, it's white privilege. He told me to go home and give me police escorts to my house. Dude! This is female privilege. Female privilege. Michelle Caitlin, thanks to my white privilege, you will get rejected by companies because they look for non-white applicants. True. Even in Britain, where even by like state-run, state-funded at least, you will get brutally oppressed in South Africa, and the media will ignore it. True. Colleges will racially segregate you for the sake of giving non-whites a safe space. Also true. Weird. All of this privilege going down, isn't it? Amazing. One time I hit a guy with my car, but I told police he hit my car with his body. They got it, he died. Haha. Obviously not. Obviously a parody. I wish I had my white privilege. How sad is a Marxist myth? Correct by Styx Hexenhauer. There's the original tweet. Brett Weinstein. I oppose racial segregation at my college. Protest becomes riots. Riots were searching for me. My boss ordered the police to stay out of it. My family then had the privilege of protecting themselves from a mob. Does that count? Maybe not to some off-white. Well, Brett, you're white enough. You're white enough for them. And the most vomit-inducing hashtag of the week award goes to my white privilege. Sorry everyone else who tried, it wasn't even close. Correct, Jessica. But yeah, so the hashtag seems... Ooh, Tariq Nasheed. My white privilege is pretending you don't have any white privilege because you grew up poor. Yet it was a bunch of broke white women who got the rich black man Bill Cosby put in prison with only their accusations with not one shred of evidence. This mayonnaise is so creamy. Tariq. Buddy. I love what you do on the internet. I think you're one of my favourite parody accounts. The key word there is women. If a bunch of broke white men had accused Bill Cosby of the same thing, they would have been laughed out the room. And you fucking know it. It's the woman aspect there that got that done. And I'm pretty sure if it was a woman from any other colour, they would have got the same result. Because let's be honest, look what's happening with Cardi B, whoever the fuck that is. Some celebrity comes out and says, I used to drug and steal stuff from men when I was a sex worker or something, and no one cares. No one fucking cares. But a couple of women make an allegation against Bill Cosby. My goodness. That's it. Done. He's done. Oh, and another one from Tariq. Why white privilege is white people making bogus police reports against black people on a daily basis, with many cases resulting in death, but only witnessing a national outcry over it when Jussie Smollett gets accused of doing the same thing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm sure that's the case. I'm sure you've got a whole list of those which are completely as you say. I staged my hate crime and got off because my mum knows Barack Obama. Hashtag my white privilege. Such privilege. Good thing he's white. But yeah, so this was a very fun hashtag to go through. There are loads. I mean, like it's really great. Actually, so also all the people I would expect coming out and speaking out about this, and again, I have to say, most of it appears to be female privilege.